Cold Stone Creamery ice cream flavored whey protein, Warheads flavored pre-workout, Swedish Fish flavored BCAAs, and the list continues to grow with sports nutrition brands using licensed authentic flavors in their products. But is that strategy about to get tougher soon? If you were anything like me growing up, your diet consisted of a ton of junk food. I loved every iconic junk food brand probably in existence. Today, my daily diet is much healthier. I shouldn't be kidding you guys. It's really not that much healthier than I was as a kid. And I won't lie that I crave those nostalgic flavors from my childhood. But because I sit at my desk for probably 10 hours plus every single day and not out playing with my neighborhood friends as a kid, playing a bunch of sports and just actively kind of burning off all of that junk food, I have to make daily decisions, adulting decisions that I wish I didn't need to make around my diet, nutrition for my general wellness. But lucky for me, in 2020, kind of this era of every choice in the world for consumers to pick. There's every option, every kind of combination that's kind of out there. I don't need to make a daily kind of mutually exclusive decision around what I loved in my childhood, this nostalgia that I have, and wanting to consume and eat a little bit better for my overall wellness. And that is because sports nutrition brands have started to work with some of these iconic junk food brands to bring officially licensed flavors to their products that I now consume on a regular basis. Like I mentioned in the intro, you have Cold Stone Creamery ice cream creations being utilized by a Glambia-owned brand, BSN. And then you have Ghost Lifestyle that has a ton of licensed products. And those include Sour Patch Kids, Swedish Fish, Welch's Grape Juice, Sonic Cherry Limeade, Warheads, Chips Ahoy, and a ton of other ones that are set to launch within the next year. And this kind of brought up a point that we talked about, Ryan Bucki and I, in our podcast, Two Guys, One Shaker Cup. If you guys are not watching, subscribing to that on Apple Podcasts, Spotify podcasts, or on YouTube if you want to watch our feed. You guys should be doing that. There's a ton of energy, a ton of exciting topics that we talk about constantly. They launch every Thursday weekly. But during one of those recent episodes, Ryan asked me if I thought the success of Ghost Lifestyle with these licensing, by them acquiring them, using them, obviously selling very well, if that also helped other sports nutrition brands acquire and utilize this strategy as well. And if you guys do want to watch that whole episode, it had a ton of different topics in there, but that was just one that we did talk about. I will pop up the link here for you guys to watch that video. But my answer to that question was, first of all, just no. And I kind of named a bunch of reasons why it was not just simply the success of one company, but I did say that it might help them get in the door more for that first initial meeting. But if we're being completely honest here, the meeting was never really the issue in the first place. If you're running a sound business, you should be able to get meetings with larger companies. You should be able to network and get access to certain people, especially when you're talking about a licensing department, which a lot of brands that own valuable intellectual property, IP, have these departments within their business. They have people that are constantly looking for revenue opportunities for this valuable intellectual property. And a number of companies do like huge business. The leader constantly on a year-to-year basis is usually Disney. They do tens of billions of dollars in their licensed IP. And to go a step even further, there's a whole expo every kind of mid to late May in Las Vegas called the Licensing Expo, where thousands of brands have their licensing teams there that are looking for opportunities to create more revenue with this valuable intellectual property. So the popularity of Ghost Lifestyle and their utilization of some of this intellectual property did not change any of the market dynamics. The reason Ghost continues to acquire these licenses is much more complex than them simply getting a meeting. But what did happen recently was something that could change the market dynamics when we're talking about utilizing these licensed flavors in sports nutrition products, especially when we're talking about sports nutrition products that are looking to acquire a specific kind of similar food and beverage intellectual property similar to what was being currently utilized by BSN and Ghost. And the event that I'm talking about here is that Post Holdings, and I've talked about Post Holdings a ton on my channel. If you guys are a regular subscriber and somebody that views my videos a lot, you guys know that I talk about them. I break down their kind of quarterly earnings reports. But Post Holdings also owns a subsidiary. They are the majority stakeholder in a subsidiary that they recently spun off called BellRing Brands. Within BellRing Brands, they own a number of kind of like active nutrition, sports nutrition type of brands. Specifically, we're talking about Premier Protein and Dymatize Nutrition. Now, after owning Dymatize Nutrition since late 2013, early 2014, Post Holdings has not cross-pollinated any of their valuable intellectual property, primarily their cereal intellectual property that's probably the most valuable within the Post Holdings portfolio. They've not cross-pollinated. They've not given access to Premier Nutrition. They've not given access to Dymatize Nutrition to have any of that valuable intellectual property. And this is even after watching Ghost Lifestyle successfully utilize these licenses over the last 2 to 3 years, create a very strong growth rate, a very strong kind of moat within their business, and really create a business that a lot of people look to and kind of view as one of the kind of Mount Rushmore of kind of the emerging new brands in the space. Post Holdings is obviously seeing that in the market. They're seeing what's happening, and yet they're not moving very fast. When they have the perfect opportunity to utilize a very similar strategy in a very quick way. But that all changes within a week of filming this video. Dymatize Nutrition is going to be launching a Fruity Pebbles and a Cocoa Pebbles officially licensed cereal flavored Dymatize ISO 100 protein flavor. So the question is, why is this so important? Why am I making a video about this particular launch? Particularly why I'm interested in this launch is because if this is successful, it might actually hurt every other sports nutrition brand that is looking to utilize this licensed flavor strategy in the future. It's not going to help. It's actually going to hurt. And let me explain a little bit about why I believe that is the case. So if competitors of Post Holdings, somebody like Kellogg's or Hershey's or even Mondelez that Ghost does business with on a number of their licensed flavors, if they are viewing the Post Holdings Dymatize kind of collaboration and they're seeing a ton of success, they're seeing that this works very well, that they can kind of keep this in-house, they might be less willing to offer up this valuable intellectual property to other sports nutrition brands. Or they might just make it extremely more like cost restrictive to do business this way and just kind of raise the price. And if you say yes, you say yes. If you don't say yes, it's no skin off the back of these valuable food and beverage intellectual property owners. These large food and beverage portfolios, CPG portfolios, have a lot of these better for you functional CPG names within their portfolio already, or they're going to be acquiring them soon. So they need to kind of figure out, does it make sense to give these to other brands within the sports nutrition space, especially if we have our own in our portfolio or we plan on acquiring some in the future? And just to give you guys a few examples, I could probably rattle off a ton of these, but if you think about Kellogg's owns RX Bar, and instead of giving some of the Kellogg's valuable IP around maybe a cereal name as well, if we're talking like a Frosted Flakes, Like instead of them giving it to any other brand, why not just create kind of a special edition RX bar that maybe has a Frosted Flakes inspired flavor, or they utilize them somehow in their new kind of morning oats products, or they could come out with a number of other products that just aren't in existence yet to kind of mash those two brands up in a way that makes sense for both brands. Another one like Hershey's buying up one brands with the one bar. Again, if Hershey's has the possibility of maybe utilizing some of their candy or confectionery type of flavors, authentically creating a bar, one bar with a Hershey's chocolate chunk type of flavor, why give it to somebody else to do something similar when they have the brand to utilize already in their own portfolio? Similarly, if you think about somebody like PepsiCo, owning somebody like Cytosports and Muscle Milk, they could create something crazy with some of their soda flavors and mashing it up with some of the muscle milk flavors or something like that, where you create a very unique kind of cross-pollinated licensed flavor that would work very well for some of the sales channels like convenience, where a lot of the shoppers are going to know probably the Pepsi names, the soda brands, a lot better than they're going to know Muscle Milk. And having that logo on a Muscle Milk then obviously creates a kind of a better environment for purchases, especially for people that are looking to get better for them, healthier for them, and looking to add more protein to their diet. That's just that one extra little thing to help them make that purchase. And then finally, just talking about the Mondelez type of a situation, I mean, they own Perfect Snacks now, a majority of Perfect Snacks. Maybe they did something with a Perfect Snack bar or Perfect Bar with utilizing some of maybe Tate's Bake Shop type flavors or something like that. You mash these things up together to create an offering that is unique, which is all in-house and all within their brand portfolios. And this just kind of gets further and further kind of important because CPG portfolios, with a lot of legacy categories that they're kind of struggling to get growth out of, being publicly traded companies, they're looking to acquire or launch products within the healthier for you, kind of better for you CPG subcategories currently. That just means they're going to have more opportunities to cross-pollinate these brands together, and it might give them less and less of a reason to short-term sell these off in a licensed deal to outside brands when odds are they probably either have something that works well within their portfolio already, or they're going to have something soon with their active acquisition strategy. Now, that being said, I understand that maybe somebody's going to watch this video and think, wow, no point of actually going after this anymore because it's already dried up even when I haven't even really gotten started. Every challenge is actually an opportunity seen through the right lens. You just have to look at it the right way. But I see endless opportunities for sports nutrition brands to continue to get creative with which license they go after, iterating on this kind of current strategy right now. So similar strategy to what we're already seeing in the market is available, but only time will tell if some of these musings over the years will actually come true in the market. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you want to help support me, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button on this video. If this is the first time you've been introduced to my videos, would love for you guys to be a part of my community by subscribing to my channel. I upload several videos just like this weekly. And if you guys want to connect further outside of this platform, I do include all of my social media links down below. I just want to thank you guys again for your time. Hopefully I gave you some value in return, and we'll see you guys on the next video.